Okay, so I am recording this as of 10:34 a.m. EST my time, February 27, 2025. This is by far the dumbest shit I have ever heard. Like, we in the VTubing space, industry, whatever you want to call it, we've gone through a lot of stuff. We've heard a lot of things, and a lot of it, honestly, plain silly at times, right? But this takes the cake. This right here. So, Loulou of Globie, as well as Mimi of Globie, gets unfairly, illegally, wrongfully terminated for the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Wait, you have to take a double take. You have to be like, no, it had to be more than that, right? So, what ends up happening is that Loulou, basically, she was kind of like Cutie, formerly of Idol, now an independent, basically a mafia VTuber. Globie, for whatever reason, apparently, with their quote-unquote anti-social whatever, like, what? So, basically, they think this is real, which, obviously, it's not. It's lore. It's story building. So, Globie's like, hey, cut this out of your lore. And Loulou, rightfully, is like, no, why? Like, it makes no sense to do so. And so Mimi backs her up, and basically Globie's going on a full meltdown here, and they're like, oh, if you're backing her up, we're just going to terminate you too. Oh, and we'll take your accounts while we're at it. Just mind-blowing. Absolutely fucking mind-blowing. And Globie, you should be embarrassed. Number one, for thinking that a fictional character, by the way, weren't you the ones who made the model? Or at least in the modeling process? I'm sure the lore had to have come up at some point, right? So you can't say that you were blindsided by the lore. And you also can't say that you didn't approve of it prior to the talent debuting in the first place. So no, that's not a justifiable reason at any point from a moral standpoint, from a legal standpoint, but certainly from a defensible standpoint. Like, no one is going to believe that. And nor should they believe it if it weren't for the fact that it came out of the talent's mouth. That is so incredibly dumb and so incredibly short-sighted. Even if you believe this, let's say you actually believe this for whatever God knows what reason, you couldn't have thought to take a step back, ask some professional people, maybe have contacts in English or Western speaking territories to find out whether or not that would actually classify as illegitimate activity. You couldn't have bothered to see that through, even a little. You're a company, for God's sakes. Surely you have some contacts, some form of revenue to make that possible. Surely you have that, right? So the fact that you don't even bother to go through any detail, and that this is basically spur of the moment, I had to assume within the last 12 to 24 hours, shows a lack of diligence on your part, number one. And number two, it shows how callous you are towards the rest of the talents, which is why a lot of them are either suspending their streams or just waiting it out. So now you created this toxic workplace, and maybe toxic isn't the right word to use here, but it's more like all of them are now on edge because they saw their co-workers get wrongfully terminated for the dumbest shit in the entire industry. Like, I didn't know it was possible for another company to sink as low as some others that we know about. I didn't think that was possible. But we're here. Damn. Like, I have no idea how Globie comes back from this. I would say the obvious thing to do would be to reinstate the talents and give them a formal apology for this fuck up to begin with. But, well, after doing that, it's safe to say that you burned a lot of bridges there. And with the other talents, who knows how they feel? I don't know how they feel. But if it were me, I don't know if I could trust them, because what if something in my lore is unacceptable? Are they going to give me an opportunity to work with it, clarify, or are they just going to terminate straight out of a hat? That's what I would be thinking if I were a member of Globie at this point. Just wow. First and foremost, support Loulou, support Mimi. They need your support more than ever before. They need you guys to just stick by them and show them that you love them for them. That it wasn't just some corporate thing, that you were their diehard fans, and I have no doubt that you will. But to Globie, sincerely, fuck you.